Willie McCreery has had Group 1 success in the Matron Stakes in the past, and this year he has notable entries for the big race on Irish Champions Weekend. Let's find out a little bit more about them.
A great beginning of the season, and then she went to France her last run. She was fourth in Group 1. I thought she ran a lovely race, and in fact I thought she just probably didn't get home the last 100 yards over a stiff mile, straight mile. But Leopardstown, the Matrons around the bend, so that should suit her. She won a Group 3 there. The ground at the minute looks like being good ground for the weekend. There's no rain between now and next Friday, so I don't know what it's going to do Saturday and Sunday. But she seems in great form. Did a nice bit of work yesterday, and she's happy as Larry. And she was out in the field after riding out this morning, so it's all guns blazing with her, really.
You've got obviously a couple of others also for the same race. Would there be another option in case you decide against that?
Yeah,
one
she's also entered in the foray on Arc weekend, and I think that'll suit her 7 furlong. I think that'll really suit her as well, so we leave that option open,
And then you mentioned maybe potentially, do you think this could be the end of her racing career this season?
I'd like to see her to go to stud after winning her Group 2, and I'd just like to get her Group 1 placed or Group 1 win for her. I think it'd be essential for her going forward as a broodmare,
Yeah.
But she certainly has great. She's everything you want in a race mare, if not over enthusiastic, and that's why sometimes she won't get the mile because she's just trying too hard.
And you see seems to have a lovely temperament, lovely way about her, and very important for the owners to have these types of horses that they can add to their broodmare band.
Exactly. They're a new stud starting off, and she's essential to have a filly, who's done it on the track. It's what all breeders like to buy at the sales. She went through a sales ring. She worth a lot of money now, but she was bought for good value at the time, and she's increased her value every time she's run, really.
And you sent her off to France a bit like the next horse that we're going to see. You're really keen to do that sort of international travel, get your horses seen throughout Europe and throughout the continent, really?
Yeah, when you think you have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's great racing here, but you're also up against the top quality horses here, and sometimes you think you're going over, and it might be an easier option, but it's Group 1s we've gone for, and you have to go to travel because there's not many Group 1s for fillies and mares here in Ireland alone,
Yeah.
So you have to travel when you can. And when they travel well, like this filly and Vespertilio, they both travel well, so you're not too worried. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes fillies you can travel, but these two didn't really drive the box now, they're very relaxed. Okay,
and we're talking about her neighbour and also under the same ownership, who must be delighted that they, lightning struck once but then twice with this girl, because she was brilliant last year, and so much so that you wanted to take her into a classic route.
Yeah.
Earlier this season, so and I suppose
she won't come away from her feed pot though.
She wants to talk to her friend.
Come on, go on and say hello. But she's another very relaxed filly. Just loves her grub. She's been out in the field there, playing in all the muck with all the recent rain there this morning. She's a bit of a warthog like that. She just likes to play and enjoy herself. And she had a very good start to the year, third in the French Guineas, ran a cracker. And she came back to the Irish Guineas, and the ground, if you probably remember that day, it started to rain from like 12 o'clock on, and it was nearly soft by the time she ran. She just can't handle that good ground or soft ground. She loves really quick ground, I'd say. And
trip-wise, is that something in your mind, what her optimums are?
Well, our optimums, I think, are open. I think she's going to get faster next year because she'll be stronger again. So we could come back, 7 furlongs. I have her in. I just entered her in a 6 furlong up to Curragh. At the end of the year, in case we don't go to the Matron, just in case as a backup plan. But I won't travel her again this year. She'll just go either up to Leopardstown or the Curragh. So this is Jancis. She's quite nervous at everything. She's just looking at the camera where the other two girls couldn't care about the camera.
Her ears are having a real think about it.
But she's a very kind filly, but she's just a tiny bit nervous of things, And it took her a while just to get into the rhythm of things, and she was growing as well. And I always thought she had, she had something there, but she always kept a little bit for herself, and she was very relaxed in her work, more so. She, like when she was doing her work, she was relaxed. Probably getting over there, she was a little bit anxious, but she every time she's done everything, and she learns to trust you. She's a different filly.
And what was it that made you decide? I'm going to be pretty patient with this one. I'm not going to
just because she just always showed that, and she gave herself little frights along the way, and she needed a week or two to get over them. Do you know what I mean? But she always worked nicely, and we always get her to relax, and You know, the more she relaxed, the better she got, you know.
And when you pitched her in the first day, did you think that she would show herself off to be?
I was standing beside Peter O'Hare actually in the stands, and Peter said, "How will you run here?" And I says, "Peter, if she gets out of the stalls and just does everything grand, I'm happy with that," because she was quite nervous in the stalls, and we got over that, and you know, that was point one, and I was happy then, however she ran, and when Billy pulled her out and hit her a flick, and she just took off, you know.
And I suppose when a horse wins first time out, you think, I could do it. A couple of things, but bringing them onto that next level on a higher stake is, you know, it comes with a bit of a risk, but you knew that she was up for it.
No, I can say that, but there was no races for her. There's very few races, winners of ones, that she's slotted into. She's not given a handicap rating. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't want to run her in a handicap, because it's very unfair to run a filly who only had one run in the maiden, to run her in a handicap. So like the obvious thing would be to run her in a winners of one race for fillies over a mile, but you can't find them. So that race, the Group 3 just came up, and I knew there would be less than 10 runners. You know, and that was the main thing too, to give her more confidence in the small field. And if we got black type place with her second run, wasn't marvellous, you know, and like she did the same. I think she nearly did the same time the second day.
And what was that kind of your expectations going in? Were you thinking?
No, the whole thing was just to give her another good day out. Give her another good day out. Because sometimes you go to track the first day and they don't know what's happening. And then the second day they poo in their pants a little bit.
Yeah.
But she was quite relaxed the second day, and you know, we were confident, you know, the way she reacted to everything, that everything was going to be okay, you know. It's just trying to find out what makes them tick and doesn't, and you know, she once she trusts you, she's a very relaxed filly, but if you frighten her, she you know, she doesn't like that at all, you know.
So going for the big one, and only on her third career start, you know, again, was there lacking of options for you, or do you feel like she's worth her shot at it?
Well, the whole thing, we didn't want to travel with her this year, because you know we'll have her for next year, so we wanted to take our time with her, and that's the Matron just comes up. It's on the same track. She's 1 or 2 races, so she'll know her way around, and doesn't have far travel. It's only 45 minutes, and you know we're just thinking of. I'm dreaming of good ground in Royal Ascot next year. That's what I'm thinking of for this one, and it's just to give her one run. This will be her last run anyway for the year, and you know, hopefully it's a good experience for her. If we get Group 1 place and their win, which isn't marvellous, but the filly's done no wrong. It's a very good pedigree, going back to second and third and fourth time back to Chile, and Arturo Cosino, who owns her, he owned those 2 mares, and he's had no luck with the dam and the grand dam, so he's keen to hold on. He's been offered a lot of money for this filly. He's keen to hold on to her because he just wants to keep the family going and try to do the best for the family. And he's a breeder in Chile. For his colours, he was telling me, have been racing in Chile for over 100 years.